Hey there everyone, welcome back to Game Vine. My name is Dave, and thank you so much for dropping on by for this review of Dungeon Drop by Gamewright Games. Let's do it. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a review copy from Gamewright. Thank you so much for your support. You are fantastic. Now, this is a game that is a dungeon in a tiny little box, and what do? You drop it to actually make this dungeon. Sounds kind of weird, right? Well, basically what you're trying to do is loot as many of these little cubes as you can by flicking with your powers, making a invisible triangle as a room to loot as much stuff as you can, all the while try not to take damage from goblins and dragons. Now this is the regular retail version. There is an upgraded version that has bigger meeples and some actual face paintings on some of the cubes. This game touts that it takes about 20 minutes and it plays 1 to 4 players. So that's quite interesting. I love fast-paced games and I love dexterity dungeon crawlers. So let me show you what comes in this box, show you how to play, and then we'll come back and give you my opinion after that. Let's do it. Alright, so this is what you get in a box of Dungeon Drop, and boy, it's deceiving. This little box packs a lot of punch. Now this is just the regular version. There is an upgraded version that has better meeples and faces on these little goblin guys, but these products right here are impressive. All these little cubes are shiny. I like them. They got a good weight to them. It's because you're going to be actually moving these around and flicking these things around, so the products have to be good. The cardboard isn't too bad. Let's go ahead and break it up and see. Yeah, not too bad. And the square cards, I love square cards because they're easy to shuffle. These don't have a linen finish to them, but the art on the cards are really cool and varied. I like it quite a bit. And like I said, these wooden cubes are really cool, and these are your actual character meeples. They're fair. I like them. But like I said, this little box packs a punch. Now let me show you how to play this game. Alright, so this is a game set up for 2 players. Now, the only thing that's different... Alright, so this game is set up for 2 players. Each person will get a race, and will get a class, and then a quest card. These will be face down, but for the sake of the review, I'm going to put them up front here. Now, everyone will have their little character, and the numbers up here will be the initiative for the first turn. The lowest one going first, so forth and so on. But I'll be starting with the dwarf, because dwarf. So what are you doing in the game? Well, over 3 rounds, you're trying to get the most points. And on your turn, it's very simple. You'll explore, which means you'll be drawing out cubes applicable to the many characters there are and dropping them onto the dungeon, and you'll act if able and loot. But first, before all that, you'll have to take all the small cubes here and the dragon, which is the big guy, and then drop them from 6 inches high. Now that creates the dungeon. And on your turn, like I said, you'll explore. In a 2-player grave, you'll draw 6 cubes and just drop them on high and add to the dungeon here. Now that's the explore phase. Now if you want to act, you can take one of your character cards here and do the power. Now for the dwarf here, it's just count 1 gold as a pillar. Pillars are these gray cubes here, which are good because pillars are going to make up triangles. That's how you loot, is by taking a room that is made up of a triangle and then looting everything in that room. Some of these cubes are good, some of them are bad. These green guys right here are goblins. Let's go over the actual cubes real fast. So the pillars, gray, and then the goblins are 1 health if you take them. Some characters have more health than others. The dwarf has 5, is that 5? Yeah, and the bogoblin. And the boblin only has 3. Now, the trolls are bigger cubes, and their health is -2, and dragon, he's the big guy. The only way to defeat him is to get the magic shield. And then you have health points that you can regenerate with, gold. The cubes here are worth 1 point. The chests here that are in the box, you'll roll them and get the amount of points equal to that if you loot them. And then you have some of the various gems in here that are the same color. Now, some of the abilities allow you to flick cubes, and those, like the cleric here, reveal 2 cubes from the box, then return them. You may flick 1 cube of either color. So basically we'll review here, and then we'll say, okay, blue. So now we can act and flick the blue colors and try to hit another blue color here and claim them as the looting phase. Some people don't have the afflicting act, but you'll only choose one act to actually do, and then you go to the looting phase. Now the looting phase, like I said, you have to make up a room with the pillars. This triangle right here is a room and has a lot of crazy stuff in it. Gold, but it has 3 goblins in there, or 2 goblins. So if I would have claimed this here, I would get quite a bit of cubes, but I would take some hit points, and the goblins just go up here on your life, saying that you've taken those hit points. Or I could have got this room over here, which is just 2 of these cubes, and I just put them over here. Now, there's something called weight at the end of the turn, and that means how many cubes you've gotten, and whoever has the most weight will be the person who will go last in the next round, and so forth and so on, with the less amount of weight. Other things correspond with it too, like some of the ability cards. There are various ones in here, like the Mage, Ranger, and the half orc, and all these cool high elves. Now let's go over the quest card. Everybody gets a quest card here, like the Fool's Folly. Chess scores +3 at the end of the game, and each one of these blue cubes score 3 points, 2 points, red 1 point, and this up here is a bit different. Small gold scores double, and the large gold scores triple. So that's pretty nice, and everybody will have that, again, like I said, face down, and they will reveal that at the end of the game, scoring it. And the last thing I want to mention is when you do claim a room, you'll put your character down in that room saying that you claimed it. Now there are 2 other variants that you can play. The teamwork variant, which is good, I like it, and then the solo spelunker, which is fair. It's okay. I played it once and it was okay, like I said. And that's essentially it. You'll continue to do this over 3 rounds, and once you've done that, everybody will flip over their gold cards, see how many points they got with their cubes and everything like that, see who the best dungeon dropper is, and then they are the winner. Now that's how you play. Let me give you my opinion and give it a grade. Let's go. So that is how you play Dungeon Drop, and I'm going to go ahead and give this game a grade. It gets a 77 from me, which gets the GameFine Player Award, and it earns it. Now, like I said, anything from 75 on down gets that reward, and Dungeon Drop is perfect for that. Now, the theme, there's not much of a theme, but the dexterity aspect and the looting aspect is fascinating and intriguing. And it does scale pretty well from 2 to 4. I would say the solo game is okay. And it accomplishes that fast-paced kind of dungeon crawler. And the fact that you can pick up these pieces and drop them, that's so much fun. Though that does kind of pose an issue, and why the game got in the 70s is, well, the components can get lost quite easy if you drop them from 2 on high, and or if you drop them on like a glass table or a wood table, they are scattering. As you've seen, I dropped them on my playmat. That absorbed a lot of the impact and kept the dungeon small, though sometimes you might have a huge dungeon, and that might make the triangles harder to actually calculate, and that is another issue with this game. It is susceptible to analysis paralysis. I'm a fast-paced gamer. I don't think much sometimes when I'm playing the game and calculating my moves. I just like to get things going, and sometimes I kick myself in the end because I don't strategize. Though there is that opposite end of the pendulum where somebody can think too much, and that happened in this game, even for me. I'm like thinking what would be the best triangle to use, and then I'm thinking ahead of time myself on which powers would be best to use for myself. And I do wish there was more powers that had more flicking in them. I felt there was a little bit lackluster in that dexterity department, though when I did get to flick the little cubes, it was so much fun. And if you don't like light or dexterity games, this isn't going to be the game for you. But let's talk about the good things that I like about it. The production quality is super solid. Even the retail version, I like the fact that they got these different color little cubes. Gamewright did it right on this game. I really am impressed with this small little box. It surprised me with the production. And it also surprised me with the game in here. Look, this is a light game. No getting by that. But this is a fantastic starter to a dungeon crawl night. Let's say you're going to play this, then you're going to play some Descent, and maybe an even bigger dungeon crawler game. But this would be perfect to play while you're waiting for the rest of your friends to get there. And with the asymmetric powers of the classes and the different races, it does make the replayability there, and the fact that your dungeon is going to be different every time. The randomization of dropping stuff, well, it's going to be vastly replayable just based on that. So I am recommending this game. It hits on a lot of different cylinders. There's a few hiccups, but for what you get in this box, it's quite a hit. So again, thank you so much Gamewright for providing us with this review copy. Could not have done this review without you. And again, thank you so much Vine Nation for clicking like and subscribe. Oh, you already did that? Well, thank you so much. If you want to pick up this game, we'll be in the description below. But thank you so much for joining us here, Vine Nation. You could have been anywhere, but you're here with me, and that does warm my heart. Now, until the next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all your play. Thank you so much for dropping on by. I'm out, everybody. Bye. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.